Hey, what's up everyone? So today what we're going to do, and this has been a topic that has been highly requested, is we are going to talk about speed generation primarily for shortboards, beginner, intermediate surfers. So speed generation, we're going to give you 5 tips to get you started on speed generation. Now the thing with speed generation is it's like a domino effect. You got to start from the beginning and work your way through the steps. You can't just go straight into pumping. You got to actually rewind a little bit and start at the surfboard. So let's get started with the 5 things. So the very first thing is picking a surfboard. So right now it's a trend for everybody to surf really small surfboards. If you're a beginner intermediate surfer, the first thing you should make sure is you have a surfboard that is suitable for generating speed, or that'll help you generate speed. Now this usually means a surfboard that's a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, a little bit thicker, and a surfboard with not a ton of rocker. So if you have a narrow surfboard with a lot of rocker, that's really hard to generate speed unless you're an advanced surfer or you're surfing a very steep, powerful wave. Tip number 2, this is the paddle. So we're taking it from the surfboard and slowly into the wave. The second thing is your paddle. So you should have a really good paddle. So you should watch our paddling videos to make sure you have the most efficient paddle. And then a tip would be, especially if you're surfing a small wave and you're a beginner, is you want to paddle that 1 or 2 extra paddles into the wave, and even maybe 1 or 2 paddles down the line. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually paddle, and then when most people would stand up, you can actually take 1 or 2 more paddles kind of angled in the direction down the line, and that'll help you get down the line quicker.
You don't have to start your wave at the bottom turn.
Right. So get that paddle in there. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, now we're going into the pop-up. So tip number 3 is pop up with compression, meaning don't stand super tall right on the pop-up. You want to pop up with lots of compression, and as you fall down the wave and you feel yourself dropping down the wave, you basically take that compression and you push and drive it into your pump or your bottom turn down the line, always keeping a little more compression than you think you need. You always want to reserve a little bit of compression, because the compression is what allows you to release the pump down the line into the pump, whatever it is you're doing. So that's tip number 3. And tip number 4, avoid going out too far in front of the wave. Really common for beginners, beginner intermediates too. And a lot of times this is because their pop-up or their paddle in or their surfboard wasn't right. That's why we always say it's a domino effect. You got to fix it at the root, work your way into it. Maybe they get in the wave late because they didn't paddle enough. They shoot out in front of the wave, and by the time they turn and get back to the wave, they've already lost distance and speed. The wave ran off without them. So we want to stay close to the wave, on the wave. We want to basically get our turn, and this is for smaller waves especially. We want to take off, start turning, stay on the wave, preferably stay on the face of the wave. We don't want to shoot out to the bottom or out front of it, and we're going to go up top, on the face of the wave, where there's always basically wave to be dropping down and going down and up. And finally, tip number 5 for speed generation. This is where we start getting into the mechanics of it. This is basically utilizing rail to rail. So a surfboard actually creates a lot of drag if you have the bottom of the board completely touching the water, flat. So if you have the entire bottom of your board on the face of the wave, you're actually dragging, creating more drag. So we're utilizing rail to rail. So that's why when you see pumping, it looks like this kind of a thing. They're going rail to rail. So remind yourself of this. Just say to yourself, when I'm going down the line, I'm going to go inside rail up, outside rail down. So when you're going up the wave, it's the inside rail closest to the wave, inside up, outside down, inside rail up, outside rail down. And that's basically what you want to focus in, making sure that you're timing that. So as you start to go down the wave, make sure you shift and time it so that when you go up the wave, you shift back to the inside rail, outside rail. Those are 5 tips for speed generation to get you started. This is primarily, like I said, beginner, intermediate tips for shortboard surfing and smaller waves. Now, if you're a beginner or intermediate surfer and you're serious about improving your surfing a lot faster, make sure to check out our website. We have video packages where we include all of our YouTube videos, as well as a bunch of other exclusive videos that can only be found online at surfcoaches.com, where you can download them to your computer and they're all organized. in a way that you can basically follow them step by step and learn to improve your surfing. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so, and we will see you in the next video.
Go get some speed.